Alright, Chainsaw Shack, Brody here. This is going to be a review and some tips on the Harbor Freight Predator 2000 watt inverter generator. I've owned mine for 3 years now, and I use it regularly. And in the winter, I was just thinking about it, I use it even more heavily because my garage has no electricity for number one. It's too far from the house. I've never hooked power up. I rent it, so I'm not going to dig lines out there and put all that stuff in for nobody. But uh, it runs all my heat, runs all my electric, runs all my lights, everything out there, runs all my equipment, all my power stuff. Of course, I can't run some things all at one time. Like if the compressor's on, I'm not going to run the compressor and the heater at the same time. I'll have to shut one off. But it's only a 2,000 watt inverter, okay? So I've used it very heavily in the winter. In the summer, it gets used, and I use it regularly weekly. So it gets, I don't know, it's probably had 20 hours a week average for the last 3 years. Of course, some months and some weeks is heavily used, and sometimes it doesn't see as much use, but it gets used regular. Uh, I have had no issues with it, no starting issues, no running issues. I've started it in 0 degrees, below zero here in Wisconsin. If you know how cold it gets here in Green Lake area, they drive their trucks out on a lake here in the wintertime. It gets cold. I've had to do only one thing to it since I've owned it, and that was replace the spark plug. And I recommend, this is going to be one of the tips right off the bat that I'm going to give you though, is get rid of the Chinese spark plug that's in it. And I'm not knocking Chinese and all that stuff. I'm not going to sound like those other clowns on here. But yeah, in this case, the China plug's not very good. We'll give you a close look at that one. That's what's coming in it from the factory. I replaced it and put the NGK in it. I seem to have a little bit of a miss or an intermittent miss at low speed running this plug that I didn't get with this plug. And I'm going to show you this. That way I can give you the part number you need to get the NGK plug. It's not very expensive. And NGK makes the best small engine plug, in my opinion, and always has been that way. For motorcycles or whatever, and this is a great plug, and that seemed to correct that problem. And I had two of these inverters. Both did the same thing. I took the first one back because I bought the extended warranty for it, and they would give you a warranty it for no questions asked. So I was like, well, there must be something wrong with it. I'm going to go ahead and take it back. I got another one that did the same thing. Of course, I put the warranty on it again, too. It's worth a couple extra bucks because you can get whatever kind of warranty you want on these inverters instead of people acting like there isn't one on it or it's only 90 days. Yeah, you can save money by getting less of a warranty, and I'm okay with that. But in the first 90 days, you're going to know if it's any good or not, to be honest with you. But anyway, replace that plug, and that stopped that intermittent issue. No more intermittent small miss here and there. That ended that problem. Starting issues improved. I've never had any starting issues, whether it's cold or hot. And I'll talk about this too while I'm here. This comes with a battery charger to hook up to it. It plugs into the inverter itself. This works great. In that same cold weather I was talking about, my car didn't want to start one day below zero. I came out, I guess my battery is getting weak, and I was like, oh great, now what am I going to do? 200 feet from the house with the garage. So I'm really not wanting to drag 200 feet extension cord out there at minus 15. So I brought the inverter, set it out there, and hooked it to the battery, and it only took a couple minutes, man. My car fired right up. So that's a lifesaver. But here's the only flaw with this charger cable. You see how long it is? It's maybe 2 foot. That needs to be at least 4 to 6 feet long. If you're listening to me, Harbor Freight, because when I charge my battery in my car to jump my battery, basically, the inverter had to sit on the motor of the car. The cables are so short it won't reach the battery from the ground. So you're not going to be setting the inverter on the ground and hooking the cables up. This could be made longer. That would be so nice. You know what I'm saying? That's just another one of my little tips, but that works great. Okay. I'll give you a look at this. I'm going to have later in this video of it running and showing you what it does under a load with my air compressor and stuff. It runs my air compressor, my heater I got in there. I've got a diesel kerosene turbo force heater that heats up everything in there. It runs that with no problem. Runs all my grinders, all my stuff, my chargers in there. But I'll give you a look at the specs right there. It says run time at 50%, 6 hours. I get easy 8 hours out of it, to be honest with you. That's on a gallon of gas. I do recommend the 87 octane. I've run 91 octane and higher, and it really, truthfully, it runs better on the 87. The 91 just, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's too much octane for something with that kind of compression ratio. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to burn higher octane. But there's a look at the specs, if I can get it to focus. Just not. What's going on there? But it is 13.3 amps max. 8 amps nominal, which is about running, which is running in a 2,000 watt peak. It definitely pulls every bit of that. I have no problem. Like I said, it runs all that stuff in the shop. I have let you look at the specs there, and let's go to page 11, and I'll show you this here real quick. That there will give you an idea of what kind of stuff you're going to run and how many watts it'll take to run it. It's like a mini refrigerator is going to be 400 running and 700 to start. That'd be like a small 5,000 BTU air conditioner, 6,000 maybe. That size, it would be about the same wattage, 700 watts. 15 amp battery charger, 380 watts running. You got your head trimmer, 75 watt light bulbs, 10 of them, 750 watts. It gives you an idea. You can actually run quite a bit of stuff off of one of these. So there's that. Later in this video here, when we're done here, I have it running in the garage in the shop, and I start the air compressor up with it on economy mode to show you that it can start it on economy, but I recommend not running it on that and running it on high idle mode, so it doesn't put such a load on it when you turn the air compressor on, because the air compressor is probably pulling about 8 amps. It's getting near the max for that generator, so it'd be ideal to turn that up before you kick it on. So just letting you know that, and it's in the video. You can see that it's on low idle economy mode, and it still starts the compressor, but it is a little struggle. On high idle, it's no big deal. It just kicks it right on. So all right, people, you have a good night, and I'm gone, and I'll let you check out this video of this thing running. Peace.